You are a senior. You go to bed at night feeling tired, you want to sleep, but within an hour or two, you wake up, you need to go to the bathroom, you get out of bed, go to the bathroom, and come back. You try to fall back asleep, but you are not quite asleep when you need to go again. This happens multiple times throughout the night. You wake up 5, 6, 7 times per night to urinate. By the time morning comes, you are exhausted. You have barely slept. You feel like you have no energy. Your health is suffering, your mood is poor, you feel like your sleep is completely broken. But what you do not realize is that the problem is not your age. The problem is not your body failing. The problem is something very specific that you are doing every single day that is absolutely destroying your sleep. Today, I want to share with you one of the most important discoveries I have made in my 20 years as a sleep medicine specialist. This is about a single habit that millions of seniors have that is absolutely destroying their sleep. And when you change this one habit, your sleep will transform dramatically. My name is Dr. Elena, and I have spent the last 2 decades studying the science of sleep and helping people reclaim their health through better rest. Throughout my career, I have worked with thousands of seniors who struggled with sleep. One of the most common complaints I hear from seniors is that they wake up multiple times per night to urinate. This is called nocturia. Nocturia is one of the most common sleep problems in older adults. It affects more than half of all seniors, and it is absolutely devastating to sleep quality. I prescribed medications, I recommended behavioural interventions, I suggested lifestyle changes. All of these things can help. But I noticed something remarkable over the years. The seniors who experienced the most dramatic improvements in their sleep were not the ones who took the most medications or followed the most complicated protocols. Instead, they were the ones who made one simple change. They changed when they drank their fluids. They stopped drinking large amounts of fluids in the evening, and their sleep transformed. They stopped waking up multiple times per night to urinate. They slept through the night, they woke up refreshed. And the best part was that there were no side effects, no medications, no complicated interventions, just a simple change in their fluid intake timing. Now, before you dismiss this as just common sense or obvious advice, I want you to understand that what I'm about to share with you is backed by rigorous scientific research. Multiple peer-reviewed studies conducted at major universities have demonstrated that evening fluid intake is one of the primary causes of nocturia in seniors. We are not talking about a minor factor here. We are talking about the primary driver of nighttime urination. We are talking about something that can be easily controlled by changing when you drink your fluids. And when you make this change, your sleep will improve dramatically. So today, I want to walk you through exactly how evening fluid intake causes nocturia, what the science tells us about this mechanism, and what you should do to finally sleep through the night. By the end of this video, you will understand not just what to do, but why it works. And more importantly, you will have the knowledge to finally sleep through the night and wake up genuinely refreshed. Let me tell you about Robert. Robert is a 68-year-old retired engineer who came to my office about 3 years ago, completely exhausted. He had been struggling with nocturia for over 10 years. He would go to bed at night and try to sleep, but within an hour or two he would wake up needing to urinate. He would get out of bed, go to the bathroom and come back. He would try to fall back asleep. but before he could fall asleep, he would need to go again. This would happen 5, 6, sometimes 7 times per night. By the time morning came, he was exhausted. He had barely slept. He felt like he had no energy. His health was declining. His mood was poor. He felt like his life was falling apart. Robert had tried everything. He had tried limiting his fluid intake, but he was afraid of becoming dehydrated. He had tried medications for overactive bladder, but they did not work well and had side effects. He had tried going to bed earlier, but that just meant more nighttime urination. He came to my office as a last resort. He asked me if there was anything else he could try. This is when I asked him a very specific question. I asked him what time he drank most of his fluids. He told me that he drank water and other beverages throughout the day. He would have coffee in the morning. He would have water throughout the day. He would have juice or tea in the afternoon. And then in the evening, he would have a glass of water or juice before dinner. He would have another glass after dinner. And then before bed, he would have another glass of water because he was concerned about staying hydrated. He was drinking a lot of fluids in the evening. This is when I explained to him the problem. His evening fluid intake was causing his nocturia. Now, you might be wondering how fluid intake causes nocturia. The mechanism is straightforward. When you drink fluids, your body absorbs them into your bloodstream. Your kidneys filter the fluids and produce urine. The more fluids you drink, the more urine your kidneys produce. If you drink large amounts of fluids in the evening, your kidneys will produce large amounts of urine during the night. This urine accumulates in your bladder. Your bladder becomes full. You wake up needing to urinate. This is nocturia. It is a direct result of drinking too much fluid in the evening. But here is the key insight. As we age, our bodies change. Our kidneys become less efficient at concentrating urine. Our bladder capacity may decrease. Our ability to suppress urine production at night decreases. This is why nocturia is so common in seniors. Seniors are more sensitive to evening fluid intake than younger people. A younger person might drink a large glass of water before bed and sleep through the night. But a senior who drinks the same amount of water might wake up multiple times to urinate. This is not a sign that the senior's body is broken. It is simply a sign that the senior's body is more sensitive to evening fluid intake. Additionally, research has shown that there is a circadian rhythm to urine production. During the day, your kidneys produce less urine. During the night, your kidneys naturally produce less urine. This is called nocturnal urine suppression. Your body is designed to suppress urine production at night so you can sleep. But when you drink large amounts of fluids in the evening, you overwhelm this natural suppression mechanism. Your kidneys produce large amounts of urine despite the natural suppression. This is why evening fluid intake is so disruptive to sleep in seniors. Let me tell you about the research that proves all of this. A landmark study published in the Journal of Urology found that restricting fluid intake in the evening significantly reduced nocturia in seniors. The study followed hundreds of seniors with nocturia. Some seniors were instructed to restrict their fluid intake 2 to 4 hours before bedtime. Other seniors were not given any instructions. The results were striking. The seniors who restricted their evening fluid intake had significantly fewer nighttime awakenings. They woke up fewer times per night to urinate. They slept longer. They reported better sleep quality. Another study found that even modest reductions in evening fluid intake led to significant improvements in nocturia. Seniors who reduced their evening fluid intake by just 25% had a significant reduction in nighttime urination. What is particularly important is research on the timing of fluid intake. Studies have shown that the timing of when you drink fluids matters more than the total amount you drink. If you drink most of your fluids during the day and very little in the evening, you will have much less nocturia than if you drink the same total amount of fluids spread evenly throughout the day. This is why timing is so important. It is not about becoming dehydrated. It is about drinking your fluids at the right time of day. Additionally, research has shown that different types of fluids have different effects on nocturia. Caffeinated beverages like coffee and tea are diuretics. They increase urine production. Alcoholic beverages are also diuretics. They increase urine production. Water and other non-caffeinated, non-alcoholic beverages do not have this diuretic effect, but they still increase urine production if you drink large amounts of them in the evening. The key is to avoid large amounts of any fluids in the evening, but especially caffeinated and alcoholic beverages. So now that you understand the science, let me tell you exactly what you should do. First, you need to understand that your body needs adequate hydration during the day. You should drink plenty of fluids during the day. Aim for 6 to 8 glasses of water per day. Spread this throughout the day with most of your fluid intake in the morning and afternoon. Second, you should significantly reduce your fluid intake in the evening. Starting about 2 to 4 hours before bedtime, you should limit your fluid intake. If you are thirsty, you can have small sips of water, but avoid large glasses of fluids. Third, you should avoid caffeinated and alcoholic beverages in the evening. These are diuretics and will increase urine production. Fourth, if you must drink something in the evening, choose water and limit it to small amounts. Fifth, you should pay attention to your body's signals. If you are thirsty during the day, drink. If you are not thirsty in the evening, do not force yourself to drink. Now, let me tell you what happened with Robert after he made these changes. I explained to him that his evening fluid intake was causing his nocturia. I recommended that he drink most of his fluids during the day, with very little fluid intake in the evening. I recommended that he avoid caffeinated and alcoholic beverages in the evening. I recommended that starting 2 hours before bed, he should limit his fluid intake to small sips only if he was thirsty. Robert was skeptical at first. He was concerned about becoming dehydrated, but he was desperate, so he decided to try it. On the first night, he drank most of his water during the day. He had his last glass of water at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. He had nothing to drink after that except for a small sip of water before bed if he was thirsty. He went to bed at 10 o'clock. He woke up once during the night to urinate, which was much better than his usual 5 to 7 times. He fell back asleep easily. He woke up in the morning feeling more rested than he had in years. By the second week, the improvement was dramatic. He was waking up only once per night, or sometimes not at all. He was sleeping 6 to 7 hours per night without interruption. He was waking up in the morning feeling refreshed and energized. By the 4th week, something remarkable happened. Robert came back to my office and told me that his nocturia had dramatically improved. He was sleeping through the night most nights. He was waking up 0 to 1 time per night compared to his previous 5 to 7 times. He was getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night. His sleep was deep and restorative. He felt like himself for the first time in over 10 years. He continued to follow the fluid intake guidelines, and his sleep remained excellent. After 3 months, he came back and told me that his nocturia was essentially gone. He was sleeping through the night almost every night. He was waking up refreshed. He had energy. His health had improved. His mood was better. He felt like he had his life back. But here is what is really important to understand. Changing his fluid intake timing did not cure his nocturia overnight. What changing his fluid intake did was remove the primary cause of his nocturia. His evening fluid intake was overwhelming his kidneys' ability to suppress urine production at night. When he stopped drinking large amounts of fluids in the evening, his kidneys could suppress urine production, as they are designed to do. His bladder did not fill up during the night. He did not wake up needing to urinate. And when his nocturia was gone, his sleep improved dramatically. He did not have to force sleep. He did not have to struggle. He simply removed the obstacle, and his body did what it is designed to do. He fell asleep. He slept through the night. He woke up refreshed. And this is the key insight that I want you to take away from this video. Nocturia in seniors is not an inevitable part of aging. It is not something you have to accept. It is a direct result of evening fluid intake. When you change, when you drink your fluids, when you drink most of your fluids during the day and very little in the evening, your nocturia will improve dramatically. You do not need medications. You do not need complicated interventions. You simply need to change when you drink your fluids. And when you do, you will finally sleep through the night. So let me give you a clear action plan that you can start implementing tonight. First, understand that evening fluid intake is the primary cause of nocturia in seniors. Second, drink most of your fluids during the day. Aim for 6 to 8 glasses of water per day, spread throughout the morning and afternoon. Third, starting 2 to 4 hours before bedtime. Significantly reduce your fluid intake. Limit fluids to small sips only if you are thirsty. Fourth, avoid caffeinated and alcoholic beverages in the evening. These are diuretics and will increase urine production. Fifth, pay attention to your body's signals. Drink when you are thirsty during the day. Do not force yourself to drink in the evening if you are not thirsty. Sixth, be consistent with these changes. Your body will adapt within a few weeks. Seventh, if you have other medical conditions like diabetes or heart disease, consult with your doctor before making changes to your fluid intake. Now, I have a question for you. Do you wake up multiple times per night to urinate? Have you ever thought about how your fluid intake might be affecting your sleep? Have you ever tried restricting your evening fluid intake? I would love to hear your experiences in the comments section below. If you try restricting your evening fluid intake, please come back and let me know how it affects your sleep. Your comments help me understand what topics are most important to you, and they help other viewers who are struggling with similar issues feel less alone. If you found this information helpful, please hit the like button. It helps the algorithm recommend this video to other seniors who are struggling with nocturia and sleep. And if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, please do. I release new videos every week about the science of sleep and how to optimize your health. By subscribing, you will never miss a video that could transform your sleep and your life. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you will change your fluid intake timing and experience the same transformation that Robert and thousands of my other senior patients have experienced. Sleep well, and I will see you in the next video. One more thing that I want to emphasize is the importance of understanding the difference between dehydration and appropriate fluid intake. Many seniors are concerned about becoming dehydrated. They have heard that they need to drink 8 glasses of water per day. They have heard that dehydration is dangerous, so they drink large amounts of water throughout the day and evening, even when they are not thirsty. But this is not necessary. Your body has a natural thirst mechanism. If you are thirsty, drink. If you are not thirsty, do not drink. Your body will tell you when it needs fluids. By drinking when you are thirsty and not drinking when you are not thirsty, you will get adequate hydration without disrupting your sleep. Additionally, I want to emphasize that the goal is not to become dehydrated. The goal is to drink your fluids at the right time of day. You should drink plenty of fluids during the day and afternoon. You should drink very little in the evening. This way, you get adequate hydration, but you do not disrupt your sleep with nighttime urination. This is a balanced approach that allows you to be healthy and sleep well. Another important consideration is that different people may need different amounts of fluid restriction. Some people may need to restrict fluid starting 2 hours before bed. Other people may need to start restricting fluids 4 hours before bed. You may need to experiment to find what works best for you. The key is to find the right balance between adequate hydration and avoiding nighttime urination. I also want to address a common concern. What if I am on a medication that makes me thirsty? What if I have a medical condition that requires me to drink a lot of fluids? The answer is that you should consult with your doctor. Your doctor can help you determine the right amount of fluids for your specific situation. But in most cases, even if you need to drink a lot of fluids, you can still drink most of them during the day and very little in the evening. Finally, I want to remind you that sleep is one of the most important factors in your overall health and longevity. When you sleep well, everything else in your life improves. Your immune system improves. Your cognitive function improves. Your mood improves. Your cardiovascular health improves. Your metabolism improves. But when you do not sleep well, everything suffers. Your health declines. Your cognitive function declines. Your mood suffers. This is why it is so important to address nocturia and improve your sleep. By making this one simple change, by adjusting when you drink your fluids, you can dramatically improve your sleep and your overall health. That is the power of understanding how your daily habits affect your sleep. That is what I want for you. And that is what you can achieve by making this simple but powerful change.